Yeah, March is wrapping up too. Flew by. Yeah, 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Kind of tough.
All right, we'll give it another minute or so, guys, and then we will get started.
Yeah, I know Andrew. Speaking about time frames, I know Andrew just made it to Istanbul, and he was saying he loves the trading time out there. It's like 5:30 p.m. now,
Right.
which is nice.
All right, give me another second here, guys, and then we're just gonna get started. All right, let's get started here. So, morning everyone, welcome back to live trading. If this is your first time on live trading, welcome. We use the webinars channel in Slack to communicate. The way that we structure live trading is very simple. We talk about what's working in the market, what's not working in the market, review some past trades, build the watchlist live, and trade the watchlist live. So let's get started here. So March has been a relatively tough month. I'm still green, 24,000, but it's been a really difficult month. What makes March a really difficult month is the fact that these plays have not really been easy. A lot of choppy action, a lot of random action, and a lot of really just dangerous action. So this has been a month of just kind of being risk off, and this has been a month on just trying to stay patient, right? So for me, 24,000 may look like a really awesome day, a really awesome month. But if you go back 1 month ago, I was having consistent $24,000, $27,000, $80,000 days. So last month I made $182,000. This month I'm only up $24,000. And I get direct messages from people who are a little bit more inexperienced. Are saying, "Hey, you made 180 last month. Why the hell aren't you making 200 this month?" Well, the way that trading works is it's all based on the opportunity. So if there's a lot of opportunity in February, there's going to be a lot more profits. If there's a lot less opportunity in March, there's going to be a lot less profits. So I think a lot of people have been struggling very, very much so in March, which I don't blame. I think it's really just been the market. So being green is a blessing, but I'm just always going back to the fact of I only want to place a trade when the odds are in my favor and when I have a high edge on the trade. Oftentimes, people are falsely misled that you should be trading every single day, right? If you're not trading every day, you're doing something wrong. Well, that's kind of only half right. You should be showing up every single day, for sure, just to see if your opportunity is there, rather than, just not doing anything at all. So I show up every day, not because I want to place a trade. I show up every day waiting to see if my pattern is there and waiting to see if the pattern is presenting itself. So in the month of March, I think it's been very, very clear and very, very obvious that it's been really difficult to, place trades that are, I guess, easy. So coming into today, we have 2 or 3 more days left until the end of the month. So for me, I'm just going to take it slow like always. Yesterday I made $150. The day before I lost $103. The past couple days before that I was away for a bachelor party. So I think that the main thing that I'm trying to do here is by leading by example. I see all on social media, all on Twitter, all on whatever, that people are losing 10, 20, 30, $50,000 in a day just trading random shit. And that's not really what I want to do. The reason why I have such a high win rate, the reason why our members are so successful is because we're very, very selective with the way that we trade, okay? So coming into today, I'll be doing the same process that I always do, looking around, seeing which stocks are in play, which stocks are strong, which stocks are weak, and then trying to take it from there. Additionally, one more thing we want to mention is obviously our partnership with Cobra Trading. So if you do not have an account at Cobra Trading, we highly suggest moving your account over. You will get 30 days of free commissions, 30 days of free platform, and you will get 60 days of live trading access. So really, really great deal, really, really great offer. And between us guys, we're probably going to be making an announcement later this week or later next week, but we are probably no longer going to be partnered with Success Trader. We're going to be using Cobra as the primary partnership. So just a heads up, if you guys still have an account at Success Trader, I think Cobra is going to be working on a very big promo, potentially including a year of live trading if you switch your account over. So more details on that later next week. So coming into today, let's talk about trading. So you have DRMA here, kind of pushed and failed, consolidated a little bit, and now making its move way back up. So probably going to ignore this one as it seems like it's going to be the money flow of the day. So not really interested there. GameStop had a $1 billion offering, So it's obviously down 10% on the day. So we're going to be looking for a large bounce on this stock to short. So should be really good there. Aside from that, let's get into the watch list. So the way that we build the watch list is we always go to the previous day's watch list first and build from there. So let's start there. Okay, so my computer is lagging a little bit. Okay. MLGO, I'm not really interested in this one anymore. I think it's going to probably trade a lot more choppy, so I'm going to probably just ignore that. DATS, you know, it looks like the volume is low, the range is low, so probably going to ignore that. POAI, same thing, volume low, range low, ignoring that. TNON ended up fading all day yesterday, had a pretty big bounce pre-market today on air. You know, can we make an argument to short this bounce maybe? I mean, like, let's be real. It would have to go to at least, like, you know, I see resistance here around 320, but I think a lot safer of an area would probably be, you know, close to 350. So I'd probably say 350, 375, and 4 on TNON. TNON looking for a bounce toward 350. 375, $4 too short. BLNE ended up kind of coming all the way back down. Really wasn't expecting that. If we get a nice bounce, I see resistance around 260. So I'll probably look for 260, probably 311 and 340 to short. So BLNE 260, 310, let's say, to make the math easy. 310 and 340 to short. What's next? Is THTX. THTX did a whole lot of nothing. So not really interested there. I mean, can you make an argument to short this bounce? Probably around 211. So I'd say 211, 230, and 250. THTX, 211, 230, 250 to short. OSRH, probably looking for a red to green rejection to short this. So probably around 375, 4, and 430. OSRH, 375, 4, 430 to short. So those are pretty much the stocks that are moving yesterday. Now let's talk about the stock movement today. DRMA seems like money flow potential. So ignoring this short for now. GME. GME had a $1 billion offering, so looking for a big bounce. GME. Lots of people bought long yesterday on the earnings, and then they had a $1 billion offering at the close. So I think a lot are stuck long. Ideally, a large bounce or 27 plus too short. VVPR. VVPR is kind of like a day two. I'm not really sure yet on this one. You know, it does have the tendency to squeeze. So I'm not really sure. I'll probably just wait for more information on this VVPR. So I'll wait for more information on this and then take it from there. So let's see. VVPR, waiting for more information, and then we'll attack. So that's pretty much it, guys. So let me post this. Oh, there's a couple more that I missed. Okay, let me just double check. SURG. Yeah, SURG, nothing really too exciting there. TDTH. Yeah, same thing. So that's pretty much the list for me, guys. So I do see a couple stocks in play. I do see a couple things happening. Mostly of them probably watch bounces on these forgotten names. And yeah. So, Steven, I'm going to pass it over to you now, and then we'll continue. So, the floor is yours, Steve.
Sounds like a plan. Cool. So today, we kind of touched on this yesterday, but I thought it'd be a good time to talk about having a plan. So I'm going to post this as always, and then if you guys have any thoughts on it, questions, whatever, feel free to post, and when I'm done going through it, we can talk about it a little bit. So, always having a plan. I talked about this, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, but there's a lot of newer people, and I think a lot of people could use a refresher course on it. So I think this is a really good topic. So always having a plan. You know, when I first started trading, man, I guess it's been like 7 or 8 years now, because I started a couple years before MIC. But yeah, time really flies, and man, there was years where I just, you know, traded, right? I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what was going on, especially before I, you know, found MIC. So I know a lot of other newer traders, and even traders who've been around a while, are probably in the same boat, or definitely have been in the same boat, right? You know, you kind of look at what's moving, what might fit, and then you just start trading. The problem with not having a plan is when you're in a trade, that's when you're not making decisions well at all. I should say when you're losing a trade, right? When you're watching your P&L go the wrong direction. When it's going in the right direction, you're probably feeling good, everything's great. But still, even at that, without a real plan, I see this a lot. I get this DM a lot. Members tell me that they covered too quick, or they were greedy with their covers, and that they waited too long and it bounced, and the trade ended up turning red. But if they had properly planned their trades, covering at support where they should have, then usually that wouldn't have been the problem. And I would say like 90% of the time, covering too early would have been resolved with a full plan. It's always normal to cover too early once in a while, but with enough data, and when you kind of see how things are going, you kind of get a feel for if you're always covering too soon or if there's a good balance, right? You can't always nail everything. I saw a pretty good chart yesterday in the Edison workshop that I commented on about this. And what I always say is, if you cover too soon, often, might be a good idea to save 10 or 20% just for lower if there's a lot of room. If that doesn't work out for you, you got to kind of find the happy medium, right? So we always need a plan. Even if your trade is green, you need a plan because you could maximize your wins more with a good plan. And if it's going red, that's the wrong time to now decide where to put your stops, when to stop adding, what to do, right? Because when you're watching your P&L turn the wrong way, you're emotional, you're stressed out, and you don't want to see red, so you have a tendency to maybe add to your loser, or you stop and then you revenge trade it, and everything just gets screwed up, and you end up wondering and trying to figure out why you had one bad trade that wiped out a week or 2 weeks of hard-earned work or more, right? So proper risk management and a plan will save you. Like we talked about yesterday, I always recommend 2 to 2.5 average work on your P&L or a max daily loss with your broker. That way you never give back more than a couple of days of work. So when you, it really helps keep the emotions out, and emotions, right? So I'm getting a lot of DMs right now. I think a lot of people didn't get the link or don't know where to look, but I'll try to answer them after. Generally speaking, we plan everything in our lives, right? We plan, if you really think about it, we plan everything, right? We plan dinner, what are we gonna eat, who's coming, need to buy the ingredients, need to order the food, whatever we're doing, need to start preparing it at this time, need to be ready at this time. We plan our daily routines. We plan a lot of things with anything related to work, usually. Your schedule, your calendar, everything has a plan, right? Family trip, whatever, it always has a plan. So I think instinctually, we all make good plans for the most part. We're used to making plans. Even when you wake up in the morning, you don't think about a plan, but you follow a sequence of events that gets you from your bed to work or whatever you're doing, right? Whatever you're doing for the day. So we naturally make plans. We're naturally pretty good at it. So it's kind of funny that when we get into trading, we don't want to make a plan, right? When we're newer, right? So it's kind of a crazy thing. And I don't know the reason for that. I'm not like a psychologist. I'm sure it's been written about a lot, but yeah, emotions are not your friend in trading. So we definitely need a plan to keep the emotions out. And because when we're not in the trade and we see the way the trade is setting up or what we want to see, that's the best time to put a full plan on the trade. So now I want to talk about what is a full plan. Full plan, as I consider it, and as we consider it in the discipline workshop, is your risk amount. There's a position calculator pinned in the discipline workshop if you need help with this. But you would have a risk amount, whatever it is. If you're newer to trading, could be 30 bucks, could be 50 bucks. If you've been trading a while, that whatever it is, but that's your risk amount. So every trade has a risk amount. We touched on this yesterday about sizing 30% max until it confirms. And if it's not an A+, it can be 40 to 60% of your total size that you're willing to put on a trade. If it is an A+, it can be close to 100%. So full plan consists of your risk amount, the amount of money you are willing to risk on that trade should be thought about while you're making your plan, right? The location of your hard stops and your share size. Share size is tied in to the risk amount. Again, we have a position calculator to help you guys with that. Then key things, your entries, your covers, and again, I kind of already talked about this, but the max daily loss at your broker level always. So those things constitute a full plan. I know in the live trades and on the watch list, there's a couple different watch lists, but it generally gives you an idea, a thesis for a trade and entry areas that, we might want to see. But really, you've still got to come up with a full plan on your own, right? You might, follow the watch list, which we highly, highly, highly recommend because that's, 80, 90% of the battle is stock selection. But the other amount, you can't have the same risk amount as Alex or as even some of your tabs or as anybody else. Your risk amount needs to be your own. So you've got to properly plan that, right? So if you know that your risk amount is, let's say, 1,000 shares, and you know that, let's say Alex goes into a trade and it's, be set up and it hasn't been firm, so he's just feeling it out, he's in 10%, then you would do the math on what 10% is. It's 100 shares. So you have to know, what your plan is in order to do anything, right? You can't just like follow the watch list or the live trades without a full plan, without knowing what your risk amount is and your share size and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, always have a full plan. I want to spend a minute or two, get into any questions that we might have. Zach says also, if you find success when you trade without a plan, you may have just gotten lucky. Agreed. It also gives you some confidence to trade without a plan again. That's when you get in trouble, the false confidence that having no plan works. So that's a great point. I remember a couple years ago when the market was really hot at one point, the overall market, and a lot of people I knew on social media, or just people that weren't normally into trading, had all the best ideas in the world, right? I mean, the truth is, when the overall market, let's just say the S&P is hot, it doesn't matter, really what you do. You might be the worst trader in the world, but if you're holding it long, you're probably going to do well. If I just bought, some SPY every time there was a full moon in the last several years, I would have made a bunch of money. But it doesn't mean that like I'm the best trader in the world, right? When things are going well, you don't really need a plan. You need a plan for when things aren't going well, right? So that's a great point, Zach. Totally agree. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've got. I'm gonna try not to go over today, Alex. So
Yeah, let me chime in, Steve. I think that was really helpful. So when I was at S&B Capital, I work with the number one. Excuse me. Let me just drink some water. When I was at S&B Capital, I worked with the number one trading coach, Dr. Brett Steenbarger. And the number one thing that he said is, if you feel your heart racing, if you are nervous, if you're sweating in a trade, you're probably in the wrong trade. And the way to determine that is this. If you have planned your entry, your exit, your stop, and your target, you have absolutely nothing to worry about because everything is pre-planned. So if you're nervous in a trade, it means that you haven't planned your entry, or you haven't planned your exit, you haven't planned your stop, and you haven't planned your target. One of those things that you haven't planned. So if you're ever feeling that way, that is your body's natural reaction, natural way to say, wait a second, chill out and take another minute to see what's going on here. So when he said that to me, I was like, holy shit, like that happened to me all the time. It's because I didn't plan my exit properly. It didn't mean I didn't plan my strategy properly. So there's a lot of things that you have to do in your trading to make sure that you plan everything. When I first started, I would buy Post-it notes, write my plan on a Post-it note, and then Post-it note it to the screen with the chart that I'm looking at. So it would be something like DRMA. I'd be like, hot stock, ignore it. I would take a Post-it, I would write that, and I would stick it on the DRMA chart on my computer screen. Those little things to me, after 11 years of trading, I don't really have to do anymore because I've gotten disciplined enough to understand it. But as a new trader, I highly recommend, getting some Post-it notes, writing your plan on the Post-it note, and then sticking it on your computer screen with the corresponding stock. So I guess, yeah, with that being said, guys, keep in mind these YouTube live streams are just for the first 30 minutes. So they're going to be every weekday at 9 a.m. You guys will see kind of how we plan our trades, what we do. We do this daily for MIC members. And around 9:29 a.m., we cut off the live stream, start live trading exclusively for MIC members. So if you guys want more information on trading MIC, just shoot Steven an email, stevenrh1@myinvestingclub.com. And that's pretty much it, guys. So that's it. So I'm going to probably wrap up the YouTube live stream there. If you guys have not seen my recent YouTube video, go check it out. And I have a really, really sick one coming next week. It's going to be a day in the life video. So aside from that, thanks, Steven. And I'm going to end the stream here for YouTube. And we're going to start live trading right now for MIC members. Thanks, everyone.
That's good. See you guys.